Hey there, I'm at Buren State Park with my friend Jonathan, and we're going to do a little rock hunting and see what we can find here. I think that's just concrete. I thought it was maybe a pudding stone at first, but I think it's a chunk of concrete. I just found a piece of concrete I thought was a pudding stone, but that's actually a pudding stone.
Yeah, it doesn't have any jasper in it, which is what makes them really pop, but
right,
it's clearly a pudding stone. Well, Rob, I think we were wondering if you could get Petoskey stones down this far, and it's not a great Petoskey stone, but it's clearly a Petoskey stone.
You know, that might not be bad once you polish it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping that these black sort of spots are in the rock and not just on the surface, and they stay there.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun to see how that one looks polished.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's porphyritic rock. Maybe basalt, maybe not. What do you have?
I found what I'm pretty sure is slag glass.
Oh yeah, look at the holes in it.
Big old holes on the bottom. And it's one of the blue color is just not quite a found in nature color. At least not around here.
Okay, so let's be clear about something. People think that when they find blue slag glass that it's called Leland blue, but we're nowhere near Leland, Michigan, so that is not Leland blue. It can be just as pretty.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, I find blue slag glass in southeast Michigan, and I know that's not from Leland, Michigan. So.
No. So Leland blue is only from the Leland area.
Right.
But that's pretty cool. I didn't know they could find that here.
Blue slag glass.
Here are a couple pieces of slag glass that we found on this beach but didn't make the video. Jonathan polished these as well as all the other rocks in the still photos throughout this video. Thanks, Jonathan. I just found a really cool rock. It's a lightning stone. You can almost see it. It's huge. This is something that they have down here that we don't have in our area. This is southwest Michigan, in Lake Michigan is the only place I know that you can find these around. But I'll be finding some more of these, whether at this beach or another beach later today or tomorrow. But that's an example of one. We're going to leave it here though. Another big piece of slag, huh?
Yeah, looks like it.
I think that's what it is. Not as nice as your little blue one, though.
I think so. We don't have a lot of rocks with little holes in them here, other than slag, right?
Yeah, sometimes there's rocks with holes, but that looks like slag to me. There must have been a smelter around here at one time. What you got there?
An iron rack.
Doesn't look exactly like banded iron formation, but it definitely looks like it's got some hematite in there or something. We checked it with a magnet, and the magnet didn't stick. But I think it felt heavy for its size.
I agree. That's still heavy.
Flip it a little bit more. Yeah, that way. That top part really looks metallic. This is interesting. It's a flat rock. It's got a kind of neat little pattern on the back there. But then this part, that brown part, there's like a little edge right there. It's like a real thin layer on top. I think a good skipping stone. That's colorful.
Yeah, you see a ton of rocks that are similar to this, but this one had a little more color. A little brighter colors than normal.
Looks like one rock sitting on top of another.
It looks like it would taste good, maybe. Like some kind of... I think I'm hungry.
I just turned on the camera to show you this. This has some weight to it, so I think there's some iron in that. Sort of a banded iron formation, but not actually banded. And as I was turning on the camera, look what Jonathan found.
On a lightning stone.
Our first reasonably sized one.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a pretty nice one too. I always like it when they've got that kind of a circle with the stuff coming out of it like that. They're not always like that. That's a nice one. That's a lot of fossils. Death plate. Jonathan was pointing out the part here that he said looks like a worm. It does. I don't know if you can see the little segments in it. My guess is it's probably a crinoid stem, a real skinny crinoid stem. These round parts are crinoids. Neat sand dunes up here. And I just found a lightning stone. I haven't picked it up yet. See if you can see it. Whoa, there's a wave. Pretty cool. Lots of trees on the beach here. Still have the dunes up that way. This stuff's interesting. We were actually here last night. Didn't film it, but I figure that's probably like a peat moss in process of decomposing. Found something similar to this up in the UP once. There's big chunks of it all over. A lot of black sand on these beaches in this area, and I didn't bring my gold pan. I actually thought about bringing it with me, and then I didn't. But it's quite a pretty good layer of it. That stuff is so heavy. Like that feels, yeah, you can't tell by video, but take my word for it, it's heavier than it should be. A lot of magnetite in it.
It looks like a sedimentary rock in progress or something.
Yeah, that's really cool looking. Really wish I would have brought my gold pan with me. Jonathan filled up a plastic cup we found on the beach with it to bring home to play with. Maybe I'll take a little bit home too and pan out a little bit and tell you if there's any gold in it. I guess now I have to do that I just said it. Alright, we're a ways down the beach from where we found the black sand, but Jonathan can't stop playing with it. He's showing me how it's different than regular sand.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's both gelatinous. You see it? But then it also just like, I don't know.
And then I picked up some regular sand and said, well, I don't play with sand that much. Does the regular sand work that way? And it doesn't act at all like that. Fun with black sand. I brought a little of this black sand home, and today I'm going to use my Miller table to see if there's any gold in it. I'll show you how this works in a minute, but first I want to show you something else that's kind of cool. This has a magnet inside of it, and if you press it down, the magnet goes down towards the end. You rub it around the sand, and you can see a whole bunch of it sticks. And if you pull the magnet up, which is hard to do with one hand, it falls back off. So you can use this to separate the black sand from the rest of the stuff and hopefully make it a little bit easier to find the gold. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that today. I'm just going to put it all on there and see what happens. This is called a Miller table, and I built this. There's a really nice YouTube channel that has all kinds of gold collecting stuff you can build. Unfortunately, I think the man who ran the channel has since died, so he won't be able to answer your questions, but there's lots and lots of really good information there. So I'll put a link to that in the description. So I think of this as an automatic gold panner. And you can see some stuff just floated off there. Might have been gold that floated off there. I should have some jet dry in this to break the surface tension, but I don't have any jet dry right now. We use those little pods and it's built into that, so we don't buy jet dry anymore. Anyhow, the way this works is the blonde sand is going to be the least dense and it just goes off right away. Then the black sand is that a piece of gold? I don't think so because it's floating. The black sand is more dense, so it hangs around a little bit longer, and then the gold's even more dense than the black sand. So the idea is that the least dense stuff will flow off the end of this thing, and then the more dense stuff will be left behind, hopefully the gold. I don't know if there's any gold in this or not. Up in Lake Superior where you find black sand, there's gold in that a lot. But I'm not sure about this stuff from Lake Michigan. I did find some in Lake Huron black sand once. So far I'm not seeing much. Kind of a slow process, so I'm going to turn off the camera, and if I find any gold, I'll let you know. Oh, by the way, there's a vial underneath. There's a hole right here and a vial underneath, so if I find any gold, I'll just brush it right over there into the vial. I've been at this for a while, and I just finally found a little tiny piece of gold. Let me try to shade it so you can see it. It's right at the end of my thumb there. Found my second piece of gold. It is right there, and I can see that one a little bit. Oh, there comes the sun. Hopefully you can see it too. After playing around with this for over 3 hours, I think, I've got 2 little specks of gold to show for my efforts. I actually found 4, but the other 2 are really small, and I was trying to pick them up with the tweezers and keep them in a gold pan, and I couldn't find them at the end. So take my word for it, I'm pretty sure I found 2 other specks of gold. What's more impressive maybe is just looking at the black sand itself. This stuff is really beautiful. There's just more colors than just black in there. There's little garnets, and I'm not sure what everything is, but it's pretty stuff. So this was the first gold and the only gold I've ever found out of Lake Michigan, so it was worth the time for me, and I just think it's a thrill to find gold no matter how small it is. So let's go back to the beach and see if we can find some more rocks. Piece of kind of like unakite. I guess it's unakite. It's not very high quality compared to the UP stuff. That bottom part wouldn't tumble well, I guess is what I'm saying. It sure is pretty though. I think maybe that's more of that slag right there. Definitely. See all the air bubbles down there. Jonathan got ahead of me a little bit, and I just caught up with him. He's got all these lightning stones. Well, 3, and then show that other one.
It's very similar. It's the same color brown rock, and what's filling in the little, whatever you want to call them, half moon shapes, looks like the same calcite as a lightning stone, but they also look like fossils, like seashell fossils.
Like a seashell cut sideways.
Yeah.
So you're getting a cross section of them.
So it's got to be related to the lightning stone, but I don't know anything else.
What do you have in your other hand?
A iron and jasper kind of rock. I wouldn't call it banded iron because there's no bands in it, but
right, but it looks like that. We've been finding a lot of that stuff along here.
Yeah.
And then I just found this that I thought was, I thought it was schist, and Jonathan thinks it's a piece of a metallic layer out of one of those banded iron formation kind of things. It does have a little weight to it. Hard to tell because it's so small. It's very thin. Show that one too. He just tossed this one down. That's a little more like banded iron formation.
Not a real pretty one, but it's heavy. It's clearly metallic.
And I did not expect to find that much of that sort of thing here. I don't know what I expected. I expect to find lightning stones here. That's about it. It's funny, just a few minutes ago, actually it was about an hour ago, Jonathan said, we never find Meta Arcos, or we haven't found it here, and then I just picked one up. It's a sandstone originally with a bunch of feldspar in it, and then it metamorphoses into a quartzite. That's what gives it that orange color, is feldspar. What'd you find?
Maybe I have magic powers, Rob. We never find any agates here.
Yeah, gee, we haven't found one of those. Okay, now we're gonna find agates. What have you found?
Just a couple of the innumerable number of pretty rocks you find in the day that you don't know what they are, you don't know what to do with them, but...
I like how that stripe goes up and around that white part there.
Yeah.
That's a great stripe in that one in the right.
Yeah.
That should tumble. That looks like it'll tumble pretty well.
It's got all sorts of stuff in it.
I'm up here in the dry rocks because it's getting kind of windy and it's hard to see in the water. There's a lightning stone right there. I actually first spotted this piece of chert. We were talking about how you can tell what chert looks like just by that waxiness. And I went over to look at that and found this. See if we can find some more. We've been doing a little bit better here as we've gotten farther away from the campground. I don't know what that is. It's not exactly beautiful, but it's just kind of different. Not a big fan of granite, but every once in a while I like to pick one up for people that do like it.
That's a cool rock,
Lightning stone with that's neat. Almost looks like an eyeball, like a cartoon eyeball.
Yeah, hieroglyphics or something.
I have no idea what that is. Sort of lightweight. Not super lightweight though. Very yellow. It's not something I normally see. So if you know what that is, please let me know. Well, we're looking for these lightning stones and wasn't sure if I was just missing them, but that one really stands out. I don't know if it's a great lightning stone, but it tells me that I can spot them. I don't usually pick up rocks based on their shape, but that's a very evenly shaped rock, not quite a circle. A good skipping stone. Still hunting the dry rocks.
Almost. I want it to be a lightning stone.
Well, it's a lightning stone.
Yeah, but it
doesn't go very deep by the looks of it.
There's not a lot of lightning.
Keep finding these, but that's better than average one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's real bright red jasper on top of it.
What's on the back?
Not much.
Nope. Don't want to look at that side.
Nope. Keep it right
there. Perfect. We're just walking by this dune again. There's dunes all along here, but this one's particularly high. That's a long ways up there. It's always hard to tell perspective in a video though. We're gonna stay down here. That's a nice little piece of unakite. Small, so I won't take it home because I'll tumble it away to nothing in no time, but I really like those colors there. Check that out. That's just beautiful. It's the black sand mixing with the blonde sand. Jonathan pointed out it looks like satellite photos of much bigger rivers, deltas going out into the water. Pretty stuff. This one has a lot going on. It looks like it was kind of like a lightning stone and the calcite came out of it. But back here you got these funny little spots. Well, the last time we were on a beach together, we kind of rated it, gave it a thumbs down. What do you think of this one?
This is good.
It's pretty good. I was much happier with this beach than the last one we were at that was in the same area. So come check this one out, find a couple lightning stones, and we'll see you on the next one.